You also seem to have experience with respect to, triple M market mix modeling, right? Technically, what we say is that, it is one of the holistic process to carry out if you're trying to measure the marketing effectiveness, because it tries to, control for a lot of factors, right? For example, you can include TV spends, you can include TikTok spends, you can also include, macroeconomic variables, you can include price, and see all of them's effect on, your KPI. I really feel that, experiments are very useful, but experiments sometimes, measure only one particular variable, right? Uh, so what has been your experience with respect to, MMM? And I know in one of your posts, you did talk about, the feeling that, MM does not capture long-term effects. So what, according to you, is a long-term, and what would you like MM to do?
I see. Yes. First of all, I have this opportunity of working with MMM
Hmm.
because there was a third-party provider
Hmm.
providing MMM to my previous company. And the internal team was like, well, we don't understand how it works behind the scene. Let's bring you that specialized in econometrics and so on to help us.
Hmm.
So I continue to be a person that knows econometrics and statistics.
Hmm.
I'm not a person who is a specialist in marketing and like all the background knowledge you need to do
Okay.
this. So I'm trying to be humble here in the sense that this is my opinion from outside. But I like MMMs. I think that they are the way to go, especially for the future with these questions of privacy and cookies and so on. Uh, Not only because you lose data from other approaches such as uh, multi-point attribution and so on, but also because it's the only way that we have now to consider everything together, right?
Yeah.
But there is a lot of things that we need to define in a specific terminology because for you what long term might be is different, maybe different from what it is for me that I have a training on econometrics. And in time series long term effects would be like you suffer an intervention and then you measure whether or not there is a stable change in your outcome variable based on that. I believe that from the time series sense the MMM does not do it,
Mhm.
but from other sense, if your model includes like carryover effects, for instance, in lagged variables, you can get like the effects of your spending now, considering that you are in a given level of
Mhm.
spending on your past, right? So like, okay, I'm spending $1,000 now, but I spent $1 billion before. It's not the same thing as spending $1,000 now if I spent $50 before. That's what I see on models such as Robin. That's my experience. But probably on your background, like on how your models work, you also might have included the notions of long-term effects that come from the time series references. So it's not like that MMM doesn't do it. It's like the MMM I had access to, I don't believe it does.
Okay, understood.